Hello, my name is AtmosQuake of the Red Rock channel, and welcome back to Circle Empires. This is, of course, a small RTS game that was released not all that long ago. I think it might actually still be in development, but that's not clear to me. But today, I'm going to be starting a short series where I'm going to be playing a campaign. A campaign that I'll lay out as I go. And so in this first one, we'll just be playing on hard mode, as you do when you play against the AI, with a very, very tiny map, and only one opponent. And the story here is that I am a commander in training who's been sent to secure this small island from the local inhabitants. And of course we have the classical build-up part. Of late, I've had a little bit of trouble with placing down workers. I keep confusing guards and workers for some reason. They cost the same amount of food, so... Now, it's really questionable how useful that territory is to my enemies. But we've managed to secure it. Oh. And then they immediately went to the northern side. I think the AI gets some sort of bonus, either with starting materials or more workers or something at the beginning, because they seem to just have more troops than me. Apparently these guys came over here to colonize, and I'm gonna have to kick them off. They're gonna have to learn to stay out of the way of the Empire. This island belongs to the Empire, and I am the Emperor's voice and will. So you people are gonna have to move, because this island is literally not big enough for the two of us. Of course, now they've been driven into the ocean. I guess it'd be more like a lake since this is an island. There's no actual ocean beyond the island, so I guess you couldn't make it a sky island. We're not above and beyond the fantasy setting, in my opinion. Could not have ended any other way but with the total domination of this territory. Though if you're gonna make a last stand, a water biome is not the worst place to make it. Especially if you have like horse units. And if your enemy is an idiot who has no ranged power whatsoever, it'd be a pretty quick way to beat off large armies. And that was just the first level, as it were, of my campaign. And since that only took like, what, 5 minutes maybe? I'll go on to the second one, where we were sent to secure a slightly larger island and wipe out all the monsters that inhabited it. Yeah, we'll go with hard. Impossible is almost always literally impossible. Like, I've managed to beat the monsters on the extreme setting, but impossible or nightmare, not so much. You have to get lucky, basically. And full conquest. Alright, I'll probably cut this part out just because it's, you know, the same thing you do at the beginning of every RTS. Gotta build up that economy. Get down your first 10 workers. And of course, I always go with the axe thrower over the archer, because less food, more wood. Also, superior unit in general. Now, when you're fighting monsters, you don't need to expand as rapidly, because they don't build up, they don't have an economy, they're just mostly passive, defensive. Sometimes they will come and attack and invade your territory, or each other's territory, but they can't actually build armies or economies. So as long as you're not so weak that they decide that they can just take your stuff, you don't really have to worry too much about them coming after you. Which also means you gotta be careful about how quickly you expand. If you expand too quickly, you might run into monsters that you're not gonna be able to handle. But as you see here, we built up a small Imperial Legion, or battalion or something. And we're gonna just invade the weaker of 2 bandit clans. Oh, and look. These barbarians decided that they could take over this territory now. Let's disillusion them of that notion. This land belongs to the Empire. And as the Emperor's voice and will in this region, I intend to become governor of this small territory. In the great sea that consumes our world, the sea that is the sky. Now let's see, I might be able to take them, but I'm not going to. You can leave empty areas as a buffer zone between your actual economy and the monsters, because when they expand into this territory, they don't get any more troops or anything, they just have a weaker force stationed here, and you can easily just drive them back out again. And we'll take on this bandit clan. I recommend focusing down archers, because once they get up a level, they get a bunch more HP, and it takes a lot longer to kill them off. Guards mostly act as just a meat shield for the ranged troops. They're not very effective. Couple strong barbarian clans on this island. We're almost ready to take them down, though. With the exception of necromancers, you don't have to worry about zombies too much. Except apparently when they get into your tightly packed archer line. But it wasn't too bad. And there's the local kingdom. Every time you fight monsters, one of these guys will spawn. And they're, as it says, the boss for the level. But in our storyline, I'd say that they're the guys in charge of the barbarian clans, which are lesser kingdoms. Which means that they're the guys I gotta kill the most. We need some gold. We're gonna have to invade one of those barbarian camps. Uh-oh. Oh boy. I may have just made a terrible decision. And now we're in trouble. Retreat is always an option. Sometimes it draws your enemy into a more favorable position for you to kill them off. In this case, hopefully it'll save my army, because we just walked into a really bad situation. As you can see, monsters will respawn automatically. They don't get an economy, but they do respawn over time from any buildings in their position, which means that you want to focus those down quickly. And they sorted that? Okay. Assemble the army. Who to invade? Yeah, these barbarians are weaker. They have the same rating almost because of the walls. I think the walls are like 150 a pop or something in terms of defense rating. But since they don't stop range attacks, that's not really true. And if you have a bunch of guards, you can just bash through a wall with relative speed. As you do. You can upgrade walls, but usually it's not really worth it. They're just there to act as a temporary barrier. And like I said, you gotta focus down these buildings because they'll just keep respawning. You'll lose eventually. And now we finally have access to a source of gold. We're gonna want gold because it'll give us some healers. So we can start healing up our elite units instead of having them die off due to attrition. And we're gonna pick off this other barbarian encampment up here, then back down to this last one. And finally, after having wiped out all of their vassals, we can take out the king. That's no concern of mine. Unless they try to pierce deeper into my territory and take out this gold supply, I'm not concerned about that. Our axe thrower. Couple more guards. Let's go. Just pile up on that wall, break through. You guys will usually focus down troops before buildings, which is okay against the AI, but not so much against the regular monsters and mobs, because they'll just keep respawning and distracting them. and you'll suffer terrible losses. Alright then. I can prep this invasion force. Oh good, healer. Spawning some workers up here. Prep this new invasion force. And we'll just push on into this territory because we can. Except for some reason this time those guys are attacking us. I don't know if that's just what they decided to do this time or if it's been updated so that they will now act more strategically or tactically. Because in the past you could just take out this territory and they wouldn't care. But who knows. All that matters is that we gotta kill them. Charge. Focused on those buildings, everything's gonna be a-okay. A lot more methodical than when you fight the NPC. Pick off the weak, leave the strong for last. I think we can probably take them. But I'll just make sure everyone's nice and healed up first. Not much else to be done. I've managed to take control of most of the island, wiped out all the vassals for this king here. And now all that's left is to plant the flag of the empire on this final tile. And we'll just build up a massive number of guards so that we can just swarm in there. We don't have a lot of food supplies. In fact, only 2 tiles on this entire map produce food. So, yeah, food is the most valuable resource just because it doesn't spawn in as often as I feel it should. Alternative to food, you could get farms, which will grow bigger over time if they don't get harvested. So you could do a rotational system where you harvest wood and you make farms in one tile, and then after they've grown into maximum size you can move workers in and harvest them, and then plant farms in the other tile and then move your workers back and harvest those. But that is kind of tedious and not really worth it in my opinion. Unless you just really need food that badly. I dub thee Sir Ethan. Sir Ethan here is going to lead my armies to glory for the Empire. Last of these local kingdoms will fall, and the shadow of the blue flag shall flap in the breeze. The blue banner of the Empire will go unchallenged, and of course focused on those buildings. They're the only reason they haven't fallen yet. And there we go. And so that is what I would call level 2 of my little campaign. Anyway, my name is AtmosQuake of the Red Rock channel, and this has been Circle Empires, the short campaign. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.